Here we are, Monday morning, 2020, May 11th. Most of the European cities are slowly in their phase one, releasing and relaxing some of the restrictive rules from the lockdown. And all people have is to mourn and groan and complain about the restrictions and how they should be responsible and take part in participating in resolving this strict lockdown and going back to normality. Whilst they were in lockdown, they were complaining that they could not go to work, they could not work from home, and they could not get on the trains, they were busy, and so on and so forth. Everyone likes to find the problems. But what are the solutions that individual, when they complain about an issue like getting to work and going about with their tightened lockdown rules, and when they've been given the phase one reopening of the phase one of the lockdown condition, they're still complaining. Everyone should know, the ones who are complaining, these media chaps, these oppositions and the political parties and individuals, when they comment and disregard the current rules and government guidance and scientific guidance that we have through data, they should be questioned. These people who are saying there's a problem, we must ask these people who have problems of going to work in this relaxed lockdown condition, ask them for solutions. What would you do? What would you do in these circumstances? What are your solutions? I don't know. Well, then shut up. That's what we should actually make individuals who complain that they don't want to take ownership. They want the event to take place, something to go wrong, and then to write a book, then to philosophize, then to keep on making comments and news and views after the event has happened. We should have done this better. It should have been done this way. It was too late. It was too early. What would you have done given the circumstances then? Not now, after the event has taken place. We should have locked down early, like the Swedes are saying. We should have been much more aware. We should have been much more. Yes, this is what the humanity is educated with. Our education is so fragmented and distorted that the human beings that we rear or raise in society are such that they have a problem for every solution. We must now turn the cameras to these individuals who's got an impatience. They're impatient with their lockdown. When you relax a little bit, they have more problems to blame. No guidance, no directions, none of this. That means these individuals are in a mode that they want to take advantage of every given situation. What would you do? What would you do in your responsible manner? Is what we should do now. We should ask these questions from people who complain about the public transport that is too busy. Keep walking. Avoid the busy hour. Negotiate with your employer. There are many ways. There are no one way. Finding solutions, we have to try, test it. If it works, we adapt. Otherwise, it's an evolving situation, just like the life is. There's nothing fixed. If you're fixed, that's the Bible. That's all the scriptures that are fixed and concretized. This education must go away. The scripture education should go away. We must fit into a reality of life and become responsible and take ownership of one's life. I will put out some more videos about how I have gone through 5 different viruses across the world, and I still continue to travel, and I'm still here. The nature will look after. All I can do is thrive and encourage others to take responsibility and strive. All I'm doing is what is needed is what we all must do. What is in our understanding, in our engagement of life, how much have we engaged and put to work to see what works? If it doesn't work, you step back. If somebody else continue to survive and carry on doing things, we must observe, take data, analyze, see if it works for us. This is the way it should be. Not to become, when the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and other officials put out a guideline that is in work in progress. There's nothing set in concrete. It's not a scripture. It's an approach to what we can do when we take part, when we become participative. Not sitting in a house making out news stories, making out scriptures, making up policies and such. We just have to work to what works for a problem we have got in our hands. Simple. It's simple as, if you do not have a solution, just shut up. If you have a solution, put out, see how it works, see if we can work towards that solution. And if it works, fantastic. It'll keep evolving with what we know. It'll keep breaking apart for what we don't know. We'll have to keep finding different ways. It's like a river. It finds there's a dam. It'll try and be halted in that. It'll start filling up. It'll find to flow over the top of the dam if you don't put controls over it. And that's exactly how we need to adapt our lives. Once it starts filling up, when you can't take the capacity anymore, we need to find ways to release the capacity by controls and measures. Simple. It's a practical way of living. It's involved way of living as a human being, because we are the only creatures who can adapt to this consciously. The animals do it because right from the start, the nature has put them 2 levels of birth and death. Within that, they got to live. From the first day on till their death, they got to survive. The nature, the risks. So their instinct, the human beings, had to be guided through, because we have a bottom line of birth. Our life has no top line. We can be any way we wish to be. But all in these circumstances, we can only be in one way. Consciously be responsible and approach with caution. It says, be alert, which means the risk is at present. Be alert means risk is present. All you have to do is not your self-guard go and just try and be silly. Just be alert. Have the level of consciousness, level of protection that you kept for you and for your family and for others, still alert in your mind, in your health, in your heart, in your perimeters of life, and carry on with life. Cautiously, of course, gently, of course. If you're a compulsive being, reckless, selfish, out for yourself, you must slow down. Hasty life at speed, haste will only get you there quicker than anyone else. Not only you're causing a problem for you, but also a tremendous hardship and problem for everybody else. So be responsible. Simple fact is that when people complain, we must ask them for the solution.